Hi, I'm Santosh Babu, and I'm the chairman and founder of OD Alternatives. This is Kerala that you see, and I've actually come here for a vacation. And this also happened to be the place that I grew up. I did my studies, and I born and brought up here. And today I thought of sharing with you one topic that's been there in my mind for a while. This is about developing the top talent in organizations and how that becomes a blind spot. And I'm talking about the organizations that invest a lot of energy, time, and money in developing talent when it comes to developing the high potential leaders, developing the mid layer of leaders. But when it comes to developing the top leadership, and by top leadership I mean the CEO and the leadership team, and that becomes a blind spot. And most organizations don't do much in that area. The organizations which does a lot of work in developing leaders in that organization seldom focus their energy, time, and efforts in developing the top leadership. So it's kind of confusing. And even if you really look at what happened recently in Uber, and the Eric Holder report suggests that the whole senior leaders of Uber need to go through a leadership development program and one-on-one coaching. So why does this happen in organizations? From my experience of working with organizations in the last 20 years, I hear two big reasons. One, when you are on the top, there is a huge level of accountability, pressure, ambiguity. So one reason that we offer here is that, oh my God, they don't have actually time to go through a serious, deeper intervention. Two, sometimes organizations do feel, these guys have gone through everything. They have done several training interventions. They have done coaching for themselves. They've been to the best management institutions. So what is there for them to go through, which is more scary? Because of these two reasons, and also the fact that they're deeply involved in developing talent and leadership within their organization, about themselves, that become a blind spot. And sometimes there could be a survey that happens in organizations that throw some insights about the top team. And they decide, okay, we have a strategy meet and we might spend a half day or a one day discussing about it and taking some actions. Sometimes they feel that, hey, to build more cohesiveness, when we have a strategy meet, we might spend a day doing some outdoor activities. And I always say, if you take your team out and do rafting to build cohesiveness, and if you do this again and again, they'll become very good at rafting, and cohesiveness still might not be there. So how do we really develop the top leadership team? Keeping in mind, they don't have time, they are under huge pressure, and they might have gone through a lot of other interventions for themselves in the past. But remember, that's past. Any leadership development that we do, that is contextual. That's about this moment. That's about what they need to do right now. So here is my suggestion, based on the work that we have done with top teams across the world. You have to actually focus on three things. One is about how do they look at themselves and develop themselves as human beings, demonstrate authenticity, integrity, and deeper level of self-awareness. It doesn't mean that we have been in a role for a long time or we have 30 years of experience. It doesn't mean that we are really self-aware. And self-awareness is not a destination, it's a journey. So there is a study which says that 30% of the leadership failure at the top is due to lack of self-awareness. So one, how do we help top leadership teams to be deeply self-aware without changing who they are, but knowing who I am and who am I being when I'm doing certain things? You see, most leadership teams are very clear about the what part of it. What are we trying to achieve? What are we chasing? What are we aiming at? This is the goals. There's a great level of clarity when it comes to goals. The second thing is about the strategy, how part of it, how are we going to go about it. There's a fair amount of clarity when it comes to the strategy part of it, at least among the top leadership teams. But the third part is, who am I being when I'm trying to do all those things? The being part of it, my authentic self. Because achieving itself is not a big deal. The challenge is, how do I achieve without losing myself? How do I achieve by being authentic to myself so that I don't have to change? So the first thing is about helping the top leadership team to improve themselves, have a greater level of self-awareness. The second thing, that in all our work over the past 20 years we learned, and I'm actually thinking, is there one single leader who hasn't told me that my guys all work in silos? You know, if you work in an organization, I'm sure you would have heard this. Most CEOs would say that, you know what, I would like a little bit more of team cohesiveness. And my team members not just wearing the functional leadership hat, but becoming more of an enterprise-wide leader. Now that's the second thing. So how do we really build more team cohesiveness, collaboration, and connectedness among the top team? And the third part is about how do we help the senior leadership team to drive execution and collectively stand on something larger than themselves. You know, to put it simply, how do they actually create a new possibility for their organization? How do they move from just being, you know, sometimes organizations and personal life become an extension of the past. We're not really creating anything from the future. Or we are not even creating a new future. Even if we think it is future, we are creating an extension of the past. So the third is to really help the senior leadership team to create a new possibility that's not merely an extension of their past. So three things that we need to focus when we develop the top leadership team. Build greater level of self-awareness and authenticity. 2, build greater level of cohesiveness and collaboration on the top team. 3, build the capability collectively to create a new possibility for their organizations, which is not merely an extension of the past. Remember, they would still say that we don't have time. We have gone through everything. But we know, because what happens at the top leadership team, whatever or whoever they are being, it has huge impact in the larger entire organization. And we all know that everything starts from the top. So it's high time we need to look at, if we are interested in developing leaders in our organization, what are we doing with our top leadership team? How much time are we spending in developing them as leaders? It's not about merely giving a coach to one person. You go to develop them collectively as a team, and that has to be contextual to your organization. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it, not just my talking, but also the whole Kerala atmosphere here. Thank you.